Downs Gaming and Hotel, we work extremely hard to make your experience here convenient, safe, and fun.
I love Batavia Downs Gaming.
We love it!
I love Batavia Downs Gaming.
We don't just like Batavia Downs Gaming, we love Batavia Downs Gaming.
Batavia Downs Gaming, Hotel, and Racetrack. We not only want you to like coming here, we want you to love coming here.
Folks, happy Easter, happy 420 to those that celebrate, but most importantly, happy WrestleMania Night 2 for all my fellow marks out there. It is indeed a holiday, and this is night 2 of the show where it is not wrestling with your conscience. It's not wrestling with your budget. This is wrestling with emotion. And oh boy, what a night did we have last night. Obviously, the show brought to you by the region's premier gaming and entertainment destination, Batavia Downs. Let's bring the panel in and react to night 1 of WrestleMania. We got the Mark himself, Ali, the Prophet, Rob Ryan, and our head of the table, Michael Partham. Gentlemen, what a night. Lackluster, but I think the main event really saved things.
I like the Fatu match as well.
Fatu,
yeah, I think there was.
we
I think there was some
we
good.
have 2 new champions. Let's start off with that.
3 new champions.
Correct.
So I think there was some good spots. I think there was a couple of good matches. Obviously, you already hinted at the main event. I love Jey Uso kind of opening up his playbook a little bit and using Gunther's moves. You know, Gunther kept saying that he's not a wrestler. I'm not scared of you. And then he used his own moves to win that match. The tag team match, that was one of those ones that had good moves. I don't think it was overall. It heated up at the end. And then you went on to the U.S. title, which I think that was a fire match. I mean, Jacob Fatu is just an animal. Then you went on to El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix, which that's why I'm called the Prophet. I predicted saying it was going to be a Rey.
Oh, good job. Good job figuring that one.
Yeah,
it really takes a rocket scientist.
Well, that's why I'm the Prophet. We'll have some more predictions for tonight's show. And,
well, I'm the Prophet now
else
because I predicted that El Grande Americano was going to win while the whole panel didn't think so.
And Jake predicted that too.
Oh, shit. I thought I was the
So close.
On air panel, you were on air panel.
Guys, question: do you think that they might have changed the outcome of that match because it wasn't Rey Mysterio? That they want Rey Mysterio to get the ultimate, unmasking and defeat of El Grande? Yeah. And the other aspect of it is they announced AAA, which means the acquisition of AAA before the show, which means that they might want to keep this El Grande Americano thing going to have a big partnership, whatever it is. They're going to send some guys down there at some point, especially for this When Worlds Collide show. And do you think they're going to want to keep this El Grande Americano gimmick going as a real heater for when they send their guys for Worlds Collide or whatever else they do?
Well, personally, I think it's Kurt Angle. So I think if they get the mask off of him, then he could probably.
Well, whoever it is,
maybe. But I think Worlds Collide is supposed to be an NXT show. So are they gonna send El Grande Americano down? Maybe he needs some more training. He's very green in the wrestling business. So.
Dude, what do you mean? He's
got a historic career. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. All right. He's very mysterious in the American wrestling business.
He's green in WWE style. Or whatever you want.
So I have to say this with the Gunther Jey Uso match. Maniac and I were both watching. We had the same agreement on this. Love the finish, but why the hell is Gunther tapping out 3 seconds?
I went back in time. It was 7 seconds, but yes.
The ring general,
but he's had a history
like a baby.
But he's had a history of not being able.
Dude,
he's had a history of not.
Shut up! Have him go to the ring general is tapping like a bitch, dude. Have him go to sleep. Did we not learn anything from Austin Bret Hart? That's how you save and preserve a character. If you're going to have Gunther go after Cody, dude, you just had him tap to main event Jey Uso. I'm sorry. He looks so silly right now.
I don't think so. I think Gunther's going to be fine.
He's had a history of not being able to handle submissions. He tapped out to Ilya in 4 seconds back in NXT. and it's a submission. He doesn't handle submissions well.
This is
a
his
new
third
animal.
time.
That was
his
Walter.
third time losing a
No, it
singles
wasn't. It was
match
when he was
in
good.
WWE.
So those are the only times anyone's ever put him in a submission?
I don't know about NXT, but in the main roster, he's only lost 3 singles matches. He's lost Cody at Crown Jewel and Sammy for the title, and now this one.
I would have preferred that he struggle a lot more to the point of maybe passing out before tapping out. That would have been fine for me.
Yeah, I am in.
I think
total
Rob's
agreement with
point
him.
is actually cool. Like, what if he is this awesome, totally undefeatable guy, but he has his kryptonite, which is submissions. He can't handle.
I mean, then everyone should just shoot takedowns and go right for the rear naked choke right away.
Becomes a story, man. That'd be cool.
I mean, it would. I mean,
then
it
he has
would
to
until
learn
he,
how to.
Yeah, until he builds up like 10 losses in a row because everyone knows his weakness. I mean, if you want to make him this huge unstoppable force, I just can't see a guy like Gunther tapping out so quickly to a submission from a guy like half his size. That's just me. I think we can move on from that. We haven't even touched on it though. Paul Heyman is a Seth Rollins guy.
I should have seen that coming. Like
I
half the freaking IWC.
I think we all did see it coming, but did you see the magnitude of how that would happen and like the in-match storytelling?
Well, at the point where Paul Heyman grabs the chair and Punk and Roman are right there, my thought was, he's going to slide the chair all the way to the other side of the ring and let Seth Rollins grab it. But Rollins was kind of still a little bit out of it. But the way they did it, basically turn on one guy and then turn on the other, I thought it was beautifully executed.
Well, and it's cool because like I literally was thinking, Paul doesn't seem real genuine about that. He's right there, my tribal chief. Like it seemed something about it seemed off in my head. So I don't know.
Just the fact that he got in the ring. He got in the ring when he handed the chair to Punk, and he was still in the ring when he was with Roman. He's positioning himself, right in the right spots both times to, go down and hit the Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell something was up right away when he was like, "He's right here, my tribal chief. It's all yours." I mean, that was so over the top. And then when he gets positions himself right where he needed to be, not behind Roman, but like to the side of him a little.
Yeah,
you just knew it was coming. But like,
hit him with the old Johnny Cage.
I mean, yet again, dude, Paul Heyman stealing the show of this whole thing.
He's one of the best to ever do it, man.
What did Cole call him? Benedict Heyman?
Benedict
Heyman has done it again.
I don't know if you've ever watched like Paul Heyman with non-wrestling fans, but they all love him. Like it's so funny. He's just universally loved, even if you don't know anything about what's going on.
I saw a meme and it was this girl and it was like why I watch SmackDown with my boyfriend, and it was just a Paul Heyman compilation.
Yeah, like him walking in court.
Yeah, literally with a big old smirk on his face.
The meme I'm thinking of is what's that thing where there's two guys like on a hangman nooses. One guy's there, and the other guy looks at him and goes, "First time." That's CM Punk to Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that's so funny.
I really am interested to see. I know we'll talk about it, obviously, probably next week on Wednesday. But how are these two going to mesh together? Because these are two strong. Like Seth doesn't really need a manager to do anything, so it's going to be interesting to see how these two mesh together.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting if they even stick together full time.
Yeah. Well, he could have a different, promo style with this new heel character that he's going to go with. But I mean, because some people have said that Seth Rollins promos have been a little lacking. It's a little too. He's good when he gets serious, but he always starts out, Joker type and all that stuff. Maybe he lets Paul Heyman talk a little bit more, and he gets in a couple of good lines when he needs to.
I thought his promo on Friday was one of the best I've ever heard. From him.
Scenario that I talked about yesterday that could happen tonight with the Soul Gang.
Well, do you remember when I was saying, "Give me what I want"? It was the Seth Rollins heel. I wanted the Seth Rollins heel, and I think we got it here. So,
and Cole did mention Seth sold his soul to Paul Heyman. So I mean, they're talking about selling souls a lot lately.
Seth was saying that him winning his best for business, just like Cena said. Yeah. It's all coming together.
Also, Michael Cole is so good too.
You said Benedict Heyman.
You bastard!
You piece of
you slimy bitch, Paul. What are you doing?
Cole's getting good at calling these betrayals, like back when Liv went with Dom and but turned his back on
That was
Ripley.
so good.
You two-time and sorry son of a bitch.
It gives shades of JR and Triple H's hatred.
Not like this.
Why, Hunter? Why? All right. Well,
all right. So a couple
one,
of other things. A couple other things I want to touch on. This
go
Tiffany
ahead.
Charlotte match, right results,
Yes.
but how do we like the match at all? I mean, some people were saying it was kind of clunky. I saw someone make the observation that Charlotte was looking good on offense, but not so quick on when she was on the defensive. Almost like there was the impression that she was a little bit slow on the defensive turns to not make Tiffany look as good. I don't know if that's
me. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
She
She's
wasn't
the
happy
daughter
that
of
she
Ric
was
Flair.
losing.
She some people were saying she came out with boo-boo job face, but with all the work she's had done, how can you tell?
You know, one complaint I had is, I mean, it was not a huge deal, but like, why were they both wearing the same color?
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while now.
It's
weird.
And then like I was with one of my buddies who doesn't watch wrestling. He's like, "Which one is Tiffany?" I was like, "The pink one." He was like, "Which one?" I was like, "The all pink one."
The blonde one, the tall blonde one.
Yeah, like what am I supposed to say?
Those were good entrances. Her coming out of the Barbie box and Charlotte pulling up in the
Rolls.
The Rolls Royce. Yeah.
Yeah, that was well done.
I liked. Speaking of entrances, I liked Roman's with all the banners coming down of the Simone
NY family. Yes.
Yeah.
That was cool. Cool for sure.
I mean, dude, living color though. Holy.
That was actually a pretty good performance. There's been some pretty bad live ones, but they were spot on.
They needed to turn up the volume of the lead singer's microphone just a little bit. But
I think it got a little awkward because they were announcing CM Punk as he was coming down to the ring, and I think the band didn't know whether to keep singing the lyrics or not, or just play the instrumental song.
It started off pretty rough. It started off pretty rough. That guitar solo did not sound.
That was like an Eddie Van Halen tribute or something. I don't know.
But then when
the
Living Color really started, it was pretty good.
This fire build up to that too.
Oh, that was beautiful. That reminded me of them using Drew McIntyre's old song when they were in Scotland for his promo package.
Yeah, they need to get back to that. That was such a good song. Without further ado, should we get into night 2 predictions, boys?
Let's do it.
Let's go. Okay, I'm going to go all over the place here because we got some fun matches. Let's start with a really fun one. Not a lot of people might think it is, but I certainly do.
Oh,
phenomenal. AJ Styles versus the Maverick, Logan Paul. I am quite interested to see where people lie here. Obviously, Logan Paul, very good in the ring since he's come to WWE. But I think they're going to have to give AJ a win here on a Mania spot. Logan can take a loss and he can look good while doing it. We've all seen that. It's proven. The proof is in the pudding. Prophet, what do you think? I'm going AJ Styles.
Yeah, I really want to go Logan Paul here. But it's like I'm really hesitant to do that because I don't think that's where they're going. But I'm going to go AJ Styles. Who knows how many Manias he has left. Logan Paul, he's still going to get booed, win or lose, and he's still going to get a push eventually. So I'll go AJ Styles just because if he's running out of time.
See, I'm a low gangster myself, but I do think AJ Styles is going to walk away with the victory here just because I think he kind of needs it, man.
Yeah, that's been the consensus I've been seeing is AJ Styles, and especially after Karrion Kross has been needling him, saying you have to win this. It reminded me a lot of when Edge was encouraging John Cena to beat Brock Lesnar after Brock Lesnar returned, and he was saying, Brock Lesnar doesn't love this like we do. He's just a part-timer. You have to beat Brock Lesnar. So I think they're having AJ putting AJ over Logan Paul as a way to say, the guys that have been here and grinded it out, they're what matters, I guess.
Hey, Logan's a full timer.
Well, he keeps saying he wants to go full time, but then he just pieces out whenever he wants. Not necessarily as long as Roman Reigns does when he takes a vacation, but we'll see.
That wild?
He did say he wanted to work more dates in 2025. He's been needling Triple H. He says, "I want to be full time. I want to work more dates." So we'll see how that pans out.
Oh, Logan or
Logan.
Roman? Oh, I was gonna say
Roman. Come on.
Well, it's crazy that Logan Paul is on the show more than Roman Reigns. Like, genuinely, I would believe that to be true, and I think it probably is.
Dude, so funny. Roman had like an Instagram post the other day where he's lifting weights, and he's like, "They called me a part-timer." And it's like, yeah, dude, like you wrestle 8 times a year. Of course, we're calling you part-time.
How many U.S. title defenses did he have? 2, maybe?
Yeah,
that was well before.
Or 3,
man.
I guess.
So what do you? What? By the way, what do you guys think is going to open? Because I could see this being one
It's
potentially.
the triple threat women's.
Oh, they've already announced it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Why is that opening?
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's going to tire out the crowd. That's going to steal the show, man.
I mean, I guess let's just go into that match since you mentioned it. Women's World Heavyweight title, Rhea versus Io versus Bianca. I think I was getting into this, Prophet. You said it's opening. Maybe because I feel like personally, this has the most intrigue for me in terms of who walks away champion. I'll kick it to Ali first and go around the horn. But yeah, this is tough.
Bianca has the streak, and I want that streak to like turn into something huge because I think how many opportunities do you really have to create something like that? They have that opportunity right now to just keep it going, but they kind of there's no way you could do a DQ finish or something like that. It's a triple threat. You don't want. I think Io has to win this because you can't take it off of Io right as you just put it on, and then she's just we're playing hot potato with the title now. Among these 3, what's going to happen next month? I think Io wins this, but I want Bianca to win.
I agree. I think Io has to win this, not just because it's only been a few weeks since she won the title in Buffalo. I believe we saw that live ourselves.
Yep.
The story they're telling is, Bianca and Rhea are having this, mini rivalry within the triple threat, and it's like Io's an afterthought, and she's like, "Hey, I'm the champion. I shouldn't be disrespected like this." And this is how she's going to earn her respect. And I think if you remember on one of those vignettes that they all filmed, Bianca mentioned that she's never been pinned at WrestleMania, which is technically correct, but emphasizing that she's never been pinned rather than never been beaten, which is why I think Io is going to pin Rhea and Bianca can brag that she's never been pinned at WrestleMania. Even though she technically won't have her undefeated streak, she can still have a little feather in her cap at WrestleMania.
Let's do the additional game then, too. Everyone says who pins who. Ali, who do you think takes the pin?
I think, Partha makes some pretty good points there. I'm going to have to go with Io's going to pin Rhea.
Yeah,
I know that feeling.
Not my girl Rhea.
But it doesn't feel right to say that she's gonna get pinned at all.
It feels fucked up. All right, Prophet.
Yeah, I've been saying since like the beginning, since they started this whole 3-person feud, that it's just they're doing Io dirty in this match. I think they didn't need her. They could have just kept the title on Rhea, done Rhea Bianca, and had like an actual match where now they have to kind of keep the title on Io, especially with how this build has gone, where they've pretty much shown Io to the side the whole time, and like hasn't given her a factor into this match. So Io's gonna win this match, and taking the pin. I think it's gonna be Bianca, just because I think they need to start turning her heel. And they need to piss her off more. So I think her taking the pin will piss her off more. But I think Rhea will play a factor into Bianca getting pinned somehow or the other. But I think they need to get some more. They need to get Bianca pissed off more. And I think taking the pin will do that.
Yeah, the U.S. crowds have been booing her just as much as the European crowds. And that's curious to me. I don't even know where that's coming from. But Slick, what do you think?
Oh man, I mean, you guys know where my heart lies. This is so tough because I want to get a pick on all you guys right now, and picking Rhea at WrestleMania just seems so like natural and easy, almost like a layup. But you guys pretty much summarized it very well. This is the spot for Io that she's gonna get. She deserves it too. Great wrestler. This match is gonna steal the show, I think, for a lot of people. Very excited, but yeah, I think Io is gonna win. She kind of has to, as Prophet said, and I agree with Prophet as well. I think Bianca is gonna take it. The fact that she said she's not been pinned at WrestleMania, no coincidence there. And Rhea is such a powerhouse and like the most over thing in WWE, and the most over thing since like sliced bread. So I don't see her taking the pin at WrestleMania. Gonna go Io on pin on Bianca. Obviously, Rhea is gonna play into that outcome, but
I'm switching. I'm going Prophet again. I'm switching my pin.
No, works around here.
No, I'm switching my pin to Bianca. I think it's gonna be Bianca.
Well, the pin is just a fun little side bet. We're all
it doesn't affect the picks.
I do think after this, I think Rhea goes to the opposite brand, or obviously Tiffany comes to Raw at the draft, and I think we get Tiffany Rhea soon.
I think that we might get Bianca versus Rhea at like a Backlash type of PLE.
I think they probably have to finish that first, but then Bianca and obviously Jade, you're building that up to SummerSlam.
Yeah. That'll be a banger. 2-night SummerSlam this year. Obviously, the boys looking
in Jersey,
looking to three-peat. Yeah, in Jersey, MetLife, baby. All right. Speaking of, I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, women's tag titles. Liv and Raquel, Bayla and Lyra. I'm not
whoa. Bailey got pulled, I thought.
Bailey's out.
Oh my God, intern, what are we doing?
So I gotta fire another one.
Who's replacing?
We don't know yet, but we all really do know.
Oh, we all know.
Wait, who is it?
It's an Irish one. It's an Irish fella.
Fella?
Not the fella.
Not the fella.
Not fella.
No, we can't be
Lass.
A different red-haired wrestler that isn't on WrestleMania yet.
Yeah, we can't be brogue kicking people in this match.
Maybe later on, an Irish fella.
Okay, so who are you guys implying?
Becky Lynch.
I
mean, they've rumored her ever since the Netflix debut, but
is that really a given?
Who else?
And she's been around this weekend. They've like purposely shown her on camera multiple times.
She's been around.
Wasn't she wrestling Lyra or wrestling with Lyra or something when we last saw her?
There was supposed to be a Becky. It was supposed to be. WrestleMania was supposed to be Becky Lyra.
What?
It could be Becky Lynch.
How? Since when?
There was the rumor mill.
What do you mean? She's not back. What rumor mill?
But like when Lyra won the title, the rumors was that Becky was coming back and it would have been Becky Lyra. Obviously, it never happened.
Yeah. I think like all of us were kind of expecting a Lynch spot at the Rumble. So if this was unplanned, to me that just feels like such a then you have to like change the outcome of this match entirely.
No, it was planned.
Yes.
If Becky is in
Bailey's
this,
not hurt.
Oh.
Yeah, it was planned from
Bailey's
like 4
not
weeks
hurt.
ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is kind of convoluted that they do it the day
before,
like hours before, like the first night of WrestleMania goes live. Like they couldn't have done an injury angle on the SmackDown before WrestleMania.
Maybe they only told certain people who the partner was. That way, like it was their way of covering it up or something.
But it sucks for Bailey. I mean, after they went through that grueling gauntlet, I think they really got themselves over. Even though I don't think they were going to win.
They also pulled the Roxanne match from her.
You know what people say? Yeah. Bailey is over, but I'm over Bailey.
As a babyface, at least.
I'm not feeling
it. I mean, as a babyface, if they use this as a vehicle to turn her heel, because she's upset that she got replaced in a match. I don't know that she's going to be throwing Becky onto a car window necessarily, but yeah, I could see a changing character for Bailey coming out of this. But it's still. Either way, it kind of sucks for her not being able to be on WrestleMania.
So, oh man, we're really gonna put tag titles on Becky and Lyra Valkyrie?
No, I'm thinking Liv's winning.
Okay. So Ali, you go where you're thinking right now. I'll pass to you first.
I just love Liv Morgan, so
that's fair. I mean, don't we all? Okay, so that's your prediction, Liv and Raquel?
Yes.
Okay.
I also met Raquel, and she was like the nicest person ever. So, bonus points there too.
All right, Parthy.
Now that there's a difference in tag partners, and we all anticipate Becky Lynch, I'm going Lyra and supposedly Becky.
It's El Grande Americano.
Come on,
man. Yeah. So like going into yesterday's show. Liv and Raquel was easy because obviously Lyra and Bailey. Lyra has the Intercontinental title, so like she doesn't need it. I think these women's tags they still have not figured out the real way of doing these titles. I think eventually they just got to get rid of them, especially now that they have both the
IC and US titles for
Intercontinental,
women.
and US titles. But however, in this match, I think with the returning Becky and a Becky who obviously has their feud with Liv before it was the last match, obviously. I think Becky gets her redemption, so I'm going to go Becky and Lyra.
Well, I have this theory I actually did just think about. Obviously, Lyra has the belt. If Becky's the mystery partner, what if there's some friction that occurs in the match that costs them the match that leads to a match between them two?
That's what I was also thinking that, but now I think that's more of like another maybe SummerSlam match.
Yes.
Okay, so you think they try to time it out?
Oh yeah.
Long-term booking, like how they do everything.
This is shitty for me because I feel like Liv and Raquel are going to get the short end of the stick here. Because you'd be hard pressed to tell me Becky Lynch is going to return for the first time in like a year at WrestleMania and lose the match. So I'm taking Lyra and Becky if that's the direction we're going. But it sucks for Liv and Raquel because I don't really know what their direction is after. Obviously, there's Judgment Day stuff, but I feel like they're just going to put have this be Lyra and Becky because of Becky coming back in such a huge spot. Otherwise, I feel like Liv and Raquel kind of should win this match. So it's unfortunate for them storyline wise. Hopefully they can make up for it, especially if they're just going to take these titles off Lyra and Becky quickly and then do a storyline out of them too. But we shall see.
Now that I think about it, this is actually a good way to bring Becky back into the fold after a year off. Being a tag team, lets her get the ring rust out a little bit.
Yeah.
Agreed. So we shall see what happens there. All of us on Lyra and Becky except Ali. So need to see where the rest of the panel is at. Ali looking to gain a pick on the boys. Okay, where are we at now? IC title, Braun Breaker versus Dirty Dom versus Finn Balor versus Penta. What a match. Holy shit. So
I love this match.
I think this applies to our doesn't hurt your record ruling because that's like over 3 people. Correct?
It's over 5.
Oh, is
I
it
think
over
I think it's got to be over 4, right? Like
I thought it was. I thought it
like Money in the Bank type matches or Royal Rumbles or something like that.
All right, then this is totally on par for the record. So I'll kick it to Profit first.
Yeah, this one I've been going back and forth with for a while now. I do think there will be a title change. I think this is how they're gonna push Braun into the main title picture to get this one off of him. However, I'm kind of torn. I don't think it's gonna be Penta. I think he doesn't need it yet, and I think they're gonna eventually with the draft bring him back with Rey Phoenix. So I'm going with one of the 2 Judgment Day members. I think this either pushes the Judgment Day further away from each other, or it could be a whole plan of pushing them together. However, I do think in the end it's going to be Dom winning this with Finn turning face and breaking the Judgment Day up for Finn to go face, and we'll obviously have that battle with Dom and Finn going down the line. But I'm going to go with Dom for this one.
Yeah, I'm going with Dom on this one because the story here is within the inner turmoil within the Judgment Day. Whoever is the one turning face or turning on the other, Dom and Finn are basically going to split ways after this match. Like, Finn and Dom are going to be on the same page, supposedly. And then maybe, remember, it's a multi-person match, so it's no DQ. So maybe Dom kind of low blows Finn Balor at some point and then gets the pin on either Finn or maybe Penta. But either way, this multi-person match is for multiple reasons. One is to feature Penta on the show, give him a nice WrestleMania spot. And also because you want to take the title off of Braun Breaker but not take any of the shine off of him. So he's obviously not taking the pin in this match. But I think they're putting the title on Dom Mysterio, and Judgment Day is going to break off a little bit and maybe get a new member on the Raw after WrestleMania.
Ooh.
Is that one person could be dark with darkness involved?
Rusev.
Mm-hmm. One could say he's very black. And not, oh, come on. His last name is Black, okay? Jesus Christ.
No.
You know.
Thank you.
PG, brother.
Oh man.
I mean, that was totally
Mr.
PG. It was
Freaking
just
Black,
the way
you
it was
know who the
worded.
hell it is.
Hilarious.
Yeah, Rusev.
Makes sense. Okay.
Rusev's going to be in another part of the show, I believe, when we get to it.
But
yes.
the prophet speaks and I listen. All right, Dom.
Yeah, I also think Dom. I think Dom is going to highway rob this title somehow. Like this is going to be the thievery,
the heist of the century,
the heist of
the millennia.
Decade. Yeah,
can't say the century because Seth took that.
Then the millennia.
Yeah. You're not topping that. Yeah, Dom is going to do some dastardly shit or nothing at all and still walk away with this title somehow. I'm interested to see how it does. Dom Mysterio, by the way, maybe greatest WrestleMania entrance ever at 39, was it? I believe
39. Yeah, that was
39.
awesome.
Yeah, fucking.
Or was it 38?
Oh man, that's a good call. I
think it was 39.
I think it was 39
with the gaudy stage in Hollywood, right?
Remember, because Ray came out with Snoop Dogg first, and then he had to climb all those stairs. Remember?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I was like, God damn, dude, they're gonna take the wind out of Ray before he even gets to the ring. So
that
clean
feud
sweep
was only 2 years ago. Damn.
Clean sweep on Dom on that one.
Yeah,
looks like
Fair enough. I don't know if we're gonna have a clean sweep on this one, but then again, we might.
So.
I hope so.
I sure hope so.
Randy Orton has an open challenge. Who's it gonna be? Who's gonna win? And why? Ali.
The Wyatt 6. No, I'm just kidding.
The entire Wyatt 6?
Yeah.
It's a handicap match?
Yeah. No, it's definitely Rusev.
It's Rusev Day. Yep.
Okay, but who's winning?
Oh, I would say Orton.
Yeah, Orton.
Oh, geez. So that was a clean sweep right away.
No, that was easy.
Rob, are you on Rusev too then to be the opponent?
Yeah, I predicted Rusev all the way on Wednesday, and you guys clowned me, and now everyone's on Rusev. So how about that?
No one thinks this could be an Aleister Black?
No.
I don't think so.
He's not big enough for this.
He's got
Rusev
other plans.
is.
Not big enough?
He's not known by the WWE.
Rusev is?
Rusev was over.
And Aleister Black wasn't?
He wasn't as big.
Oh, Rusev was over because of a Vince McMahon.
But Aleister was
okay. Just because Vince McMahon made the gimmick doesn't mean it's a bad gimmick. He made.
No, I know. I'm just saying he wasn't over because of his ring ability. He was over because we were just going, it's Rusev Day.
Yeah, but like Aleister was more of like a mid.
Oh no, it was awesome. Don't get me wrong, dude. But I'm saying like I don't know, like big enough is crazy when you're talking about like a guy who's clearly.
Slick, some of these things are just best for business.
Yeah. Like, oh man, I'm not going to make the joke actually.
Oh boy.
So we all think Rusev, but Orton still maintains his legendary status at WrestleMania.
Yeah. He's
okay.
Voices.
Fair and simple. This next one, maybe not sweep, but then again, now that I've said it, fuck. McIntyre and Priest in a Sin City street fight, kind of a last minute addition to the card, feels a bit unnecessary. Let's start with you, Prophet. What do you think's going to happen?
I mean, it wasn't really last minute. This has been building since.
No, the match was announced last minute.
Oh, maybe.
Was it?
I don't know. I don't think so, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
Like a week ago, yeah. But
it doesn't matter. I think this is going to be a banger. I mean, a Sin City street fight with these two monsters of people, men, whatever you want to call them. This is going to be an all-out brawl throughout Allegiant Stadium, maybe even outside onto the Strip. Who knows where the Sin City street fight is going to end? But I'm going to go with, I think either of them can take a loss. I think they're both kind of in that steady, whatever state right now, and not really. Maybe McIntyre gets pushed a little more after this. So give me McIntyre.
Yeah, I think it's going to be McIntyre. Simply because they took him off his Bloodline Hunter gimmick, which was kind of odd that he never got to all the way to Roman. I mean, maybe he got a piece of him at the Royal Rumble. That was pretty much it. But so I think, some people were saying, this should have concluded with McIntyre versus Roman at WrestleMania. But I guess we have to leave that for another day. But McIntyre is still his heel character in the last year and a half has been very, very good, and I think they still want to keep his momentum up. And being a no DQ type of stipulation allows Damian Priest not to lose too much shine in this. So I'm going McIntyre, and I do like the way that the Drew McIntyre in his promos has connected the dots all the way to last year's WrestleMania, where Priest has always been there capitalizing on his misfortunes. And then they built that up with Priest being the one to eliminate him in Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber. So even though it's kind of been a little thrown together in the last few months, I think it makes sense. And I think they're going to have Drew go over.
See, I just think it's crazy you're saying a little thrown together over these last few months. I feel like this is a pretty well-built feud here.
It has a lot of connecting dots in the last year, like I said, but they really hadn't interacted from like SummerSlam to the Royal Rumble. So it's more or less been picked up from where they left off before. But yeah.
You know how long ago the Royal Rumble was? It's like 10 episodes of TV ago.
They really messed up a lot of things with this European tour and this late Mania. I'm sorry. I mean,
they
this,
did.
Like,
that's true.
I'm not trying to make an argument. Like, I think
they got to do these. They got to do these.
We can all agree this was like taken on way too long after the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, they should have. Go ahead. Are you done?
No, you go.
Oh, yeah, they should have done this international tour like middle of the year, like to build up to one of their international PLEs. I think it just hurt the Mania push. Sure, go do house shows during like the road to WrestleMania, but I think having these TV shows, it just, I don't know.
Sorry, go ahead.
Everyone was only tuning in to watch the Cena and Cody things, and then it was just like blah after. So like it was not needed.
Well, I think
one
the whole
thing of it was
for the Cena stuff.
One thing of it was that Vegas wanted WrestleMania to happen during Easter because it's one of their low points as far as business. And the other thing you have to remember is Cena is filming a movie over in Europe, so it was more convenient for him to pop over to Raw or whatever, a couple countries away rather than go across the Atlantic each time. So I think they might have done that just for his sake. Anyway, Golly, what's your pick?
Yeah, I mean, it's McIntyre here, 100%. I think it was a really well-built feud. I just don't think it was. I think McIntyre probably deserved better for Mania, just generally, because of the year he had last year. But he's gonna win. I think Priest is gonna be fine if he loses and takes an L here, especially if McIntyre gets real sadistic and does some crazy stuff on him. I think he's gonna look fine.
Okay, clean sweep for Drew then. Again, after I said no sweeps, because I am gonna go Drew as well. I think Ali, you said it so well. McIntyre deserves so much better. He should be in a better feud. He should be in a better spot for WrestleMania. He's one of your biggest stars. You got to reward him as such. Damian Priest, we've seen this before, so I'm not really sure why they're forcing it onto this Mania card. But anyway, great feud. These two are great wrestlers. I do look forward to this match quite a bit. But yeah, Drew deserves better, so they got to give him a win here. And guys, we just have one match.
The main
and it might be a controversial main event. Maybe, depending on how you look at it. I know a lot of people feel some way. This has divided families. This has made children cry. This has made Partham anxious. This has made Ali get his whole wardrobe out. This has made the Prophet change his sunglasses 5 times just today. This has made me nervous. It is the WWE Championship. Take all, leave all. Cody Rhodes, John Cena. I'm going to kick this off, guys. We're going to have a 17-time world champion tonight, and his name is John Cena. And new, this probably going to be one of the most historic matches to date in WWE, just because of the stakes, just because of what's going on at play to the side. The final boss is at play. Doghouse Gino's in the chat saying, yo, what up, Doghouse? Tell us who you got in this match, Doghouse. Say what up. Cena, I think the final boss is going to be at play in this match. without a doubt. I think there might be other things. We might be in for some surprises. I really don't know. A lot is going to happen. Expect WrestleMania 40 type antics, but not quite to the same degree. Obviously, this is a title match. There is not a no DQ clause, so not just anything can happen. But I think some dastardly things will. And I think Cena's going to make sure that. Does Seth Rollins play into this from the night before? I know some people feel some ways about that. Prophet might have been one of them. So I'm going to spin it over to Prophet. Prophet, a lot could happen, and we need the prophecy from you about what might.
I don't know what's going to happen, but maybe I do. Maybe I don't, but I do know one thing, that John Cena sucks. I mean, are we kidding me? Just kidding. I agree with everything John Cena has said. I was happy that he made that kid cry in Belgium. I'm happy that he made kids cry all over the world when he used that title to hit Cody Rhodes over the head at Elimination Chamber. He's going to get his 17th tonight. You know, I'm a big Cody guy, but when someone is speaking the truth, spitting some fire, I'm going to listen because, you know, the prophet loves to hear the prophecy, and John Cena has been telling the prophecy all along. But we are going to have the final boss here. Like I said yesterday, like I said earlier, we'll have some Seth Rollins. We'll have some Paul Heyman. You know, I don't know what we're calling them, probably the Soul Gang. But John Cena is going to get his 17th. We're going to have some shenanigans, maybe some Stone Cold. You know he's there. Maybe some Jey Uso, you know, some of that. I don't think that one's going to happen, but maybe some Jey Uso. But all I know is that John Cena is going to get his 17th, doing some bastardly things. He's not going to care that the crowd's booing him. You know, Stu is going to – he might even push Stu off the stage walking down.
If he pushes Stu, that crowd will riot.
That would be the funniest thing ever.
If they called themselves Soul Train, I would pop so hard. Just got to jump in here real quick. Doghouse Gino still has Cody. Prediction, though, has Uzi Vert coming out to back up Cody against Travis Scott.
I would love that.
Oh, Travis Scott's getting a receipt right tonight.
Oh, well. Yeah,
Travis
definitely.
Scott in the building. We saw him backstage yesterday. What position will he be in to get a receipt, if at all? Partham, what do you think?
Okay, so the juicier storyline coming out of WrestleMania is John Cena having the title. John Cena defending it against all these. Last time he'll face these opponents, Randy Orton, CM Punk, whoever else might be lined up. Yeah, so I expect shenanigans. I expect skullduggery. I expect all sorts of underhanded tactics. I don't. The Rock's post. You saw it. I put it in the chat. The Rock's posting. You know, him driving down the road in Hawaii. Come on, you're not slick, Dwayne. I mean, you're not our slick, but you're not just slick. You're not slick anyway.
You're not slick, Dwayne.
Yeah, Jordan Grace pulled that right before her debut. So
yeah, I can't believe she tried to pull that. Like, come on.
But anyway, I mean, people have been saying, you know, Steve Austin should have been the one showing up last year, and sure, that would have been a great moment. And Steve Austin's commented on that. You know, maybe I could show up and help Cody. I don't know if you know what kind of shape he's in right now. I mean, that's a pretty long ramp, unless they have him, you know, sneak in through the crowd and come up behind Dwayne if he's in the ring with the belt, you know, about to whip him, you know, Mama Rhodes, look at what I'm about to do to your boy. And Steve Austin gets in behind him and gives him a stunner or whatnot. You have to hit the music. You have to you hear the glass breaking wherever he comes from, of course. Yeah. But then again, I think Dwayne has another trick up his sleeve, and I do think it's going to be Seth. Because he's been dropping little breadcrumbs saying, I'm what's best for business, coming out in a nice gaudy suit with a chain around his neck.
You pointed that out, that was crazy.
Yeah. And I think there could be more surprises than even what we're expecting here, I think.
I agree.
I mean, the way that like promo video at the start of Mania was with Triple H narrating it, he was saying this was the start of the story. So, like, I feel like they're kind of treating this as like the season premiere of this new season of WWE we're gonna get this year.
And I mentioned it like during my thing, which I was reading earlier, I think, or last night. People are saying that Jey Uso could be involved in this whole selling his soul thing, and The Rock is controlling both champions.
No,
I don't think that's happening, but like That's out there. So
I
who
feel
knows
like that
what
would
can
have
happen.
happened. Something would have happened yesterday if that were to be the case.
Yeah, I saw something about how it could be where Seth and Jake come out together, and it's like a 3v3 with Cena, Rock, and I don't know who. I forgot who I read as last one, and then
Rusev?
obviously I don't know who it would be, and then obviously Cody,
Oh my
Seth, and
God.
Jay, and then Seth and Jay drop kick or super kick Cody, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah,
Dude, can
they're
you
just getting
imagine
started
if-
with Jay's title reign and his super over popularity. And Triple H is the kind of guy who likes to drop, like we mentioned about Seth, all these little hints. He likes to drop breadcrumbs. I haven't seen anything from Jay in that regard.
No.
Dude, I don't care whether it's like out at the ring before the match, like during the match, backstage, whatever. They should totally have R-Truth come up to Cena at a point on camera and be like, "What the hell's gotten into you, John? This is not the John that I grew up knowing and loving."
Yeah, how have we not had that interaction?
I mean, bro, that would be, and Cena like punching R-Truth. Oh my God, it would get nuclear heat.
When are we gonna have that? We need to have that soon, right?
That'll be a good spot on Raw, like him throwing R-Truth off a stage onto a bunch of tables. That would be great.
I think, yeah, a lot of surprises in store this match potentially, and I think the Raw after Mania could be at play again. I really hope we're not saying that again, and then like we were just disappointed like last year because it seemed to be the case. But I mean, it was hard to complain after that main event of 40 last year. But Partham, so you're on Cena?
Yeah, I'm on Cena.
Okay, Ali, take the floor.
Cena. Yeah, I mean, I
all
bought
those shirts?
well, and those are just my clean ones. All right, so I wear them regularly. I have every shirt these, but
He actually bought the used one for $75,000.
Yeah, he bought the in-ring worn one.
I was thinking about setting up a GoFundMe though. Would you guys support? Yeah,
I'd chip in 5.
All right, yeah.
The Prophet don't support anyone besides the Prophet.
Wow,
shit,
that's
mic drop.
crazy.
All right,
But yeah.
speaking of surprises, whether it happens at WrestleMania or maybe the Raw after WrestleMania, there's a couple of guys out there, members of the NOI bloodline or associates of them, that have been rumored to have been signed by WWE for a while, but have been held back. You know the couple of guys, I mentioned them in the chat. Do you remember when Hikuleo and Zilla Fatu?
Yeah.
So
I wonder
Zilla would be interesting. He's a great wrestler. I know he's in Vegas for WrestleCon. He is currently Westside Gun's 4th rope heavyweight champion. First inaugural one, actually, too. So I would love to see him get involved. I don't know. I feel like he's too on the Scene in other things and booked for other promotions. I mean, you never know. You never know because Tamatanga and them came out of the woodwork. So
yeah, if they were to be brought in, both of them, or maybe individually in different places, do you think they'd be more appropriate with Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and what's the remnants of the bloodline, or would you may have to have them be the henchman, the arm essentially of The Rock?
I think if you bring in Zilla, I think he needs to be wherever Jacob is because I think those two they have very similar styles, similar body types, and a similar viciousness that is just like no other. So I'd love to see them aligned. A tag team of them would be fucking sick, but it might take away from their individual.
I was gonna say if you're mentioning how similar they are, I think they'd want to keep them separate, kind of like how they're doing with
could do. Yeah, I mean, being a henchman for The Rock is never a bad thing. I mean, you know what comes with selling your soul? Compliments of the final boss,
Rolexes,
and a lot of food in catering. Wants to know what our predictions were for Randy's opponent. We think Rusev is going to come back. It's going to be Rusev Day at WrestleMania, but he's still going to take a pin. I mean, sorry, Rusev. We know you were hanging out backstage. You probably didn't think this is how you were going to get your introduction back into the WWE, but you're getting an RKO tonight, whether you like it or not.
With him though.
What if it's someone turns? Like, what if Rusev goes straight to a heel or Orton goes straight to a heel? Well, not straight, but you know what
Rusev,
I mean.
Mashka, Rusev.
Putria.
I don't think it matters what you do with Rusev. Like everyone's gonna love him no matter what. So
well, if he comes out with Lana again, who's on a Legends contract, so I hear, then they'll definitely love him.
Didn't they just get divorced though?
Yeah, it's gonna.
They got remarried.
Yeah, but they're back together.
They got remarried.
Oh yeah,
they're back together.
That sounds like
no cap. I was there at All Out in AEW when Lana came back. No pop. Like everyone was just confused as to why she was there.
I don't know if Kevin's injury could be.
Kevin's injury is
not a
definitely
work.
real. It's real.
I don't know. I had that suspicion at first, but
we all had that suspicion when he came out. We thought, "What is this another way
it's
of
real.
trying to
Have
get
you
out
seen
the
the
match?" But yeah,
if it was a work, they wouldn't be so. Kevin and Randy have been very friendly this week at all these like pressers and stuff. If it was a work, they would have had to keep some of the hatred.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Not if Kevin's pretending he's injured.
Well, you think he's going final boss and buttering up to the guy that he's going to eventually turn on?
No, I don't know.
Bring in Aiden English from TNA and
they could do that. They have that as partnership that they can bring in, request some people.
This is true. You can just bring in TNA's kind of just like another NXT now, which is kind of weird, but
it's a good place to be.
Didn't think I'd see the day, but I'm down with it. Just like I'm down with John Cena setting the record for WWE or heavyweight title wins. I think that's just championship
world titles.
Yeah. Speaking of Ric Flair, did you see him post about how Charlotte Flair and Tiffany stole the show?
Woo!
I mean,
what a load of woo!
With some woo wings.
I'm going to be wooing a lot tonight if Cena wins that title. We'll see where the rest of the panel lies, but any shout-outs or sign-offs before we go, boys?
I love professional wrestling.
Hey, shout out Stand and Deliver. They stood and delivered yesterday as well.
I want to shout out to my sister Kimberly because she just had her baby like a month ago, and I'm going to be going home to see him in Easter for the first time.
Shout out to Kimberly. Hell yeah.
Shout out Kimberly. Let's go.
Shout out to Kimberly. Everyone else tuning along. Thank you for joining us on this Easter Sunday or 420. If you're just sitting on the couch wake and baking, we respect that too. Either way, we're all looking forward to some wrestling tonight because this is not the show where it's wrestling with your conscience. It's not the show where you are wrestling with your budget. This is wrestling with emotion.
Yeet.